Today we are talking Chattanooga versus Nashville. If you're wanting to move to Tennessee and you are in between the two places, in this video we are going to discuss the differences that you should consider when making that decision. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Barron. I'm a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So as much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys with your real estate needs even more. So if you happen to want to move to Chattanooga, feel free to contact me in any of the ways down below, and I will be happy to help. Number one is geography and location. So Nashville is located in the middle of Tennessee, but it's west of Chattanooga, and Chattanooga is located to the southeast of Tennessee. Now, with that, the geography is going to be a little bit different. Chattanooga is a little bit more mountainous. It sits in a valley between the Cumberland and Appalachian Mountains, whereas Nashville is a little bit more flat. There are some hilly, mountainous areas around the area, but definitely not as much as Chattanooga. As a general rule, the further west you go in Tennessee, the flatter it gets. So like if you get to Memphis, then it is super flat there. And then beyond Memphis, then you're in the Midwest and it's just the Great Plains, really. Now, the geography is a pretty important factor when deciding where to live because it is also going to determine the lifestyle and the activities that you choose to do when you are living in that area, right? So if you're living in Nashville and it's a little bit more flat, then there's going to be less outdoor activities to do. Whereas in Chattanooga, there is a ton of stuff to do because the mountains provide, well, mountains, a lot of hiking, mountain biking, whitewater rafting, there's lakes, rivers, all of the outdoor stuff, rock climbing, everything. Whereas Nashville, it's a little bit different. You have to travel a little bit longer in order to live that type of lifestyle. Chattanooga is about an hour and a half away from Knoxville, 2 hours from Atlanta, 2.5 hours from Nashville, and about 2 hours from Huntsville. So you have close access to major cities. Nashville is a little bit different. You're about 3 hours from Memphis. You're about 3 hours from Knoxville. You're about 4 hours from Atlanta. So you'll have to travel a little bit farther again to get to other major cities. While we're on the topic of travel, in Chattanooga, we have a local metropolitan airport. It's a domestic airport, so it only flies to select places in the United States. A lot of times, if you're flying, from state to state, you will have a connection in Atlanta or Charlotte or Dallas. Bigger airports, bigger international airports. Whereas in Nashville, you do have an international airport, so you have access to a lot more places. The average commute time for people living in Nashville is about 6 minutes longer than Chattanooga as well. With more people, you have more traffic and longer travel time. The population of Nashville is significantly more than Chattanooga. The population of Nashville, here I have it on my phone, it is 671,295, whereas in Chattanooga it's 184,742. So, Nashville is significantly larger than Chattanooga, and the population reflects the actual city as well. You go to Nashville, Nashville is just way more developed. It's way more established. There are more companies there. There are more opportunities for jobs. There's more housing. Everything about it is just way more established, as in Chattanooga, Chattanooga is still on the come up. Both cities are growing very rapidly, but Nashville is definitely more established. The median home price for housing in Nashville sits at around $440,000, and in Chattanooga, it's at around $289,000. The cost of living in each city is lower than the national average. In Nashville, the cost of living is 5% lower than the national average, whereas in Chattanooga, the cost of living is 7% lower than the national average. Now we're talking national averages here. When it comes to housing, Nashville is 7% lower than the national average. Utilities are 9% lower than the national average. And groceries are 2% lower than the national average. In Chattanooga, housing is 8% lower than the national average. Utilities are 8% lower. Groceries are 2% lower. So overall, Chattanooga is a cheaper place to live than Nashville. When it comes to things to do and attractions, they both offer a lot, But because they're located in different regions in the state with a different geography and a different history, the museums and attractions and things to do are just going to be a little bit different, and they're going to be centered around different things. So in Chattanooga, we have the Tennessee Aquarium, we have the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, Chattanooga Zoo, Raccoon Mountain Incline Railway, Raccoon Mountain Caverns, Rock City, and just a bunch of outdoor activities to do, like in the mountains, like, again, rock climbing, mountain biking, hiking, that type of thing. Now, if you notice something about these two places, Chattanooga is more centered around the outdoors, and it's industrial, and there's a lot of railway museums and stuff like that, whereas in Nashville, it's more focused on music. I will say, too, that Nashville is a lot more touristy. They see a lot more tourists than Chattanooga just because it is a pretty iconic place. Everyone wants to go to Broadway Street and party. Now, while we're on the topic of partying, let's talk about nightlife. Nashville has a better nightlife than Chattanooga. No questions asked. 100% Nashville has a better nightlife, and that's because people go to Nashville to party. Again, if you go to Nashville during the weekend and you walk down Broadway Street, you will see so many bachelorette parties and people. It seems like the people who are on Broadway, none of them are actually from Nashville. Everyone's a tourist. You'll see so many bachelorette parties and even bachelor parties go on, mainly bachelorette parties. You'll see girls with the cowboy boots and the pink cowgirl hats, and I mean, you'll see guys wearing all of that stuff too, but usually they're not even from Nashville and even Tennessee. They're all traveling from like Florida on their bachelorette party or on vacation. The nightlife that Chattanooga has includes Reagan's Place. We have the Blue Light, Alan Gold's, and Whiskey Cowgirl just opened up. I heard that's pretty fun. In Nashville, there are just way more options. When it comes to food, Chattanooga has great food options. They have great restaurants. Food here is awesome, but honestly, again, Nashville is just better when it comes to that. There are just more options. The city is more developed, it's more established, and with that comes more options for food. When it comes to walkability, Chattanooga is better than Nashville, and the reason is because Chattanooga is just smaller. It's a smaller city. It's easier to get from point A to point B. Once you're parked in the city, it's very easy to get from restaurant to restaurant or from restaurant to ice cream shop to coffee shop. Everything is really just right there within probably a 30-minute walking distance max. So it's a very easily walkable place. Nashville is just a little bit different. It's hard to find parking, but it is easy for you to walk to them, and there's actually really cool places to eat, just little like hole-in-the-wall restaurants. It's really cool. The vibe in Nashville is really cool, and you can see the buildings as well. They all look pretty historic, and it's just a really cool, charming place. So in general, both places are pretty walkable, but Chattanooga is just a little bit better because it's smaller. There's less of a distance that you need to walk to get to your point of interest. Now, the overall culture and atmosphere of both places are pretty different. Nashville is just a lot more touristy place because it has, that music vibe. Everyone loves music. Nashville is the place for music. It also seems that many young adults that move to Nashville are there to pursue their career in music. There are less outdoorsy things to do, but there are more things to do if you like staying inside the city, like you like going to bars, restaurants, museums, that type of thing. In Chattanooga, there's definitely not as much tourism. There's still tourism, but definitely not as much as Nashville. And the things to do there are more centered around the outdoors. If you're an outdoorsy person, you will love Chattanooga because there are so many things to do, and just geographically where it's located in the mountains, I mean, the opportunities are endless, and you will just absolutely love it here. And that is the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you found the information in this video helpful, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. Again, guys, I am a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So as much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys with your real estate needs even more. So in any of the ways down below, feel free to contact me and I will be happy to help you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.